All right, gentlemen, this again is another video for all the hitters in our program, and it's going to talk about one more thing that those three hitters that are hitting hard line drives are doing when they get to the plate, and it's the concept of timing. And we've talked about it before, and you'll see it here with Ken Griffey Jr. The reason that a guy like Griffey is so successful at the plate is because he's always in sync with the pitcher's rhythm. He's always relaxed and comfortable in his stance when the pitcher's in a slow rhythm, and when the pitcher gets to the end of his attack rhythm, Griffey's able to get ready to swing. You can see it here, not ready to swing, but ready to stride. You can see it here when he lifts up this front heel. Before release, he's ready to get going. So when the pitcher does get to his release rhythm right here, Griffey's able to take his stride and load his hand so that he's in sync with every pitch. And that was one of the reasons why Griffey was such a phenomenal hitter. And it's a reason why three of the guys right now that are hitting hard line drives are having success is because they're on time. And so what I'm going to do is, again, pull up a 4-view, and we're going to take a look at all these guys, plus a couple of pros, and how they're able to get synced up with the pitcher. So we'll pull up Thalgott here. You can see him here in the upper left-hand side. And we're going to pull up Bigham in the right-hand side, and then we're going to pull up Fabry down here in the left. And for pros, we'll start with Miguel Cabrera. Now, Thalgott, actually, you know what? We'll start with Griffey. And the reason I want to start with Griffey is because Thalgott is a lot like Griffey in terms of his timeline. He doesn't do a lot of fancy things to stride. All he's going to do is pick up his heel like Griffey. And you're going to see it right there. He picks up the heel. Again, if we go back, you'll see me, I'm at the end of my attack rhythm. Thalgott picks up his heel. So when I get to release, which is right here, you're going to see him working forward with his stride and loading his hands. And he's right in rhythm to hit the pitch hard. You'll see the same thing over here with Griffey. Griffey just picks up the heel when the pitcher's at the end of his attack rhythm. You can see it right there. That's getting him prepared to stride. And then right when the pitcher gets to his release rhythm right there, Griffey's working towards the pitcher with his stride and loading his hands back. Boom, he's in sync. Now Bigham, he's got a much longer timeline. He's more like a guy like Matt Holliday. And you can see here with Matt Holliday, he's got a big knee lift. And so when he's facing guys like Verlander and good pitchers, he knows that because he has a longer timeline with this knee lift, he's got to get started early. So you can see here he's beginning to lift his knee when Verlander begins to separate his arms. And when Verlander gets to the end of his attack rhythm right there, you can see Holliday's at the top of his knee lift. And so he's in sync, so right when Verlander gets to release, Holliday can begin working forward with his front foot, getting his positive move, and loading his hands back so that he's in sync to drive the pitch. Brett's the same way. You're going to see here Brett's going to pick up his knee, or start to pick up his knee right there when I'm in that separation of my arms. And when I get to the end of my attack position, his knee's up as high as it has to be, so that when I get to release, he's going to begin working forward with that front foot and loading his hands back, and that gets him in sync to drive the pitch. Fabry's the same way. He gets himself prepared so that, and you'll see here he does a little heel lift, picks up his foot a little bit, but you'll notice, you can see here in the upper left-hand corner of the screen is my hand. You're going to notice that right when I release the ball, Fabry's taking his stride forward and loading his hands back so that he's on time with the pitch. So in addition to doing some things mechanically right, the four things we talked about early, these three guys are also consistently timing up the pitcher in order to drive the ball.